This is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcasts. It is June 12th, 2023, and I just did a podcast on the legal brief that I filed Friday. Mr. Perry's threats to my car, all of that. Yeah, here we are having to repeat ourselves again. Everybody's tired of that, Charles Perry. The repeat. That we got to say the same thing for you over and over and over. Get a nurse or a special education teacher to help you understand what my guy said in March 2020 is her privacy is not to be invaded anymore. It is illegal to do that. You're not to contact her or her family in any way, shape, or form, directly or indirectly. You don't stage an intervention to try to get her family to make her feel like she has pressure from them to be trafficked. Don't get her family to commit conspiracy to coerce. It's a criminal act for you to coerce. You're by yourself for a decade, not a day, not a week, not a month, not a year, a decade, because you're not wanted, you're not loved, but you are told on and told on and told on and told on and told on. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. Nobody. Nobody asked you what you think or how you feel or what you want or what you need. Your threats to kidnap me are duly noted for the record. Again. I'm going to repeat myself because Mr. Perry has Huntington's disease. You know how we found out? When he contacts me, we get more. When he invades my privacy, they are up his ass. These guys helping me. They're cops, 40 of them. One shrink, one judge, one forensic accountant, and me. It's a team. We're fighting your human trafficking crime, your sexual exploitation crime, your witness tampering, your perjury, your forgery. It's organized crime. Do you have women locked in a basement somewhere, pervert? You're rejected every day for a decade. You don't have a woman with you. You're all alone. You've made up some imaginary affair. You're sitting there with your doll all shriveled up by yourself. Rejected and told on and told on. And those are your results. Our results are we quote you guys every day. Every day you got a little meeting and you sit there and plan my ruin and you sit there and plan. We got a kidnapper. Duly noted for the record again. We got to pull her over. Wait till she gets to Memorial, then pull her over. Well, how would you know when I get to Memorial if you're not hacking my phone and using it as a GPS or you cloned it? Right? Muffin Man? Vacuum cleaner guy? Betancourt? Blankenship? I'm going to name your people again. Blankenship, Desiree, Lucius, Calvin, who's bald and fat. Sanjay, your hacker. Dickie and Richard, Ruben and James, Nesbitt, Oscar, Beverly, Renee, Kate, Lawrence and Andrew, Muffin Man, that's a nickname. You want to do a family intervention. Oh my God, wow. You want my family to commit a criminal act against me by trying to use them to coerce me to do something I said no to for a decade. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. No one. Connie Curry, no one asked you how you feel or what you think or what you want or what you need, and no one cares. Didn't ask you. You need to go home to your family and leave mine alone. And the more you bother them and the more you bother me, the more we get. We found out you have Huntington's disease. It causes delusion. You're whack job, certified diagnosed wackadoo. And you embarrass the hell out of me. You don't make sense. No one wants to hear from you. Nobody. And you never shut up. And the more you contact me, the more we have gotten over the years. Thousands of recordings that I typed up into thousands of emails. And in a lot of the emails, I'm only typing up part of the conversation. I'm getting the general gist of it and the main crux of it. And the rest of it, I don't type up. So you don't even know what all, some of it I don't type up at all. I might just change what I'm doing. I change a plan or something. because you're going to cause a harm against me. You're going to cause a loss, a substantial, tangible loss. You've lost nothing. When you invade my privacy, they get up your ass. They'll invade yours. You asked for it. You reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. If you want to get up somebody's ass and rape and make women feel violated in a very vulgar way in a privacy of our home, they're going to invade yours, okay? They got a court order for that. Or you have a leak or something, Mr. Perry. You asked for it. We didn't. We did not. So I just named a whole bunch of your people. You think Ruben and James and Nesbitt are leaks. You guys have said it over and over and over and over. Right? Once in a while it's Dickie. Sometimes it's Al. Right? Is Al and Blankenship the same dude? I don't even know. So we have all this. I mean, this goes back eons. Okay, so, well, let me go to the disclaimer. This is the last podcast I did where I talked about the legal brief. And here again today, you want me pulled over again. I heard the recording of y'all. Wait till she gets to Memorial. So, Governor Stint and Governor DeSantis were here over the weekend. Did they talk about Mike Nealey's case? Did Governor Stint look at DeSantis and say, we got an innocent cop in jail for trying to help one of our citizens who's a victim of crime? She's sex trafficked. She's a victim of forgery. Chief Miller, the dead cop who died in your state by way of beatdown, they were both coaxed there. We have evidence that they were coaxed there. Have you taken a look at his case? You're letting that go on in your state? You want us to support you as president when you let a cop go down like that and sit in your jail and rot and use taxpayer dollars because he's almost died? You don't beat somebody to death and have not a mark on you, no bump on the head, no concussion, found unconscious, in respiratory distress, given Narcan for life-saving measures. He was dying. And those two are letting that go on every day. And that is not going unnoticed by our guys. It's not. Who's Muffin Man? Who's Blankenship? Who's Desiree? Who's Lawrence and Andrew? Who's Oscar? Who's the vacuum cleaner guy? Does she not have a vacuum cleaner? Geppetto, your witch that casts spells on victims for you. Just like my human trafficking video for my criminal justice college shows. It's just kind of common practice for human traffickers to fucking hire a witch to cast spells on the victims. And Geppetto asked if I have sage because his aren't working on me. But one of your witches said, you can pay me, I'll take your money and laugh all the way to the fucking bank. The problem is, when you got somebody like her who's made up her mind it doesn't work, it only works on people who have not made up their mind. What it's going to do to her is piss her off. And when you piss me off, we get more. Everybody gets very motivated to hurry up and lock you up so you don't invade somebody's privacy, you don't forge a document, you don't rape, and you don't murder, and you don't kidnap. You won't be here to do that. You're causing stress. You're causing everybody to have the heebie-jeebies. And everybody's sick and tired of you. And I've said that over and over and over and over. When you do something illegal, people don't like it. And they're not going to like you, and they won't help you. Nobody's helping you. Nobody wants to help you. Everybody wants you to get the fuck out of here and leave us all alone. Her privacy is not to be invaded. You don't contact her or her family in any way, shape, or form, directly or indirectly. She's not to be broke and have to ask for help again. Do you understand me? You do it, you stop, or I'm going to do it for you, he said in March 2020. Look how much more we got since then. inside information on your crime, including that you have Huntington's disease that causes hallucinations, paranoia, delusion, psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. You can't do cause and effect. You can't do before and after. You can't do same and different. In your head, you can't put that together like a fucking 2-year-old. You can't do it. You're like nursing home. Big time. And we have to say the same thing for you over and over and over and over. We say it and we show you. It's every day. It's been every day for 10 years. Which, I mean, we don't even know. So I'm going to do, here's the disclaimer. Here's the disclaimer, Mark Warman. Title 18 of the United States Code, Section 1512 and 1513. Mr. Perry, you're still contacting me, and I just asked you not to do that, didn't I? Why can you not control yourself at your age? No impulse control at all. But when people sit down in all 50 states and federally and make a law against doing something that is very offensive and deviant, that means they don't like it when you do that. So if you do things people don't like, they're not going to like you. We all learned that in daycare. You just can't stop. You never shut up. Okay, the use of technology to stalk is about stalkers using phone hacking or cloning a phone to track somebody's whereabouts. Connecting the dots, TPD, is what you're supposed to do when you get a stalking complaint, not what you do. Hand it right to the offender or tell the victim, we don't take evidence here. That's not how we do things here. And then the victim has to say, today it is, here, and shove the shit under the glass. Read the fucking evidence already. Do your fucking job. Or get out of law enforcement. Everybody wants to defund you because you do shit like that. People don't like your corruption. They don't like it. We are quoting you sometimes, aren't we? You think maybe you got some guys there very uncomfortable with what's happening? Why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't they be? So, yeah, we can get, you got leaks, we don't have leaks. We quote you, you're not quoting us. You can't name my guys, we're naming yours. Who's Oscar? Who's vacuum cleaner guy? Who's Betancourt? Who's Monique, and where is she right now? Where's your wife, Jackie, and your kids, Matthew and Jordan? And why aren't you with them? Why can't you control yourself? Why can't you get a grip on reality? You're rejected every day for a decade. You're not wanted. Nobody's in love with you. You don't have women crawling all over you. You're having to sit down and see if you can't kidnap me and get away with it. Dear God. How many women are locked in that basement you got? How many are there, Charles? You got a list, I hear. We did a podcast on that. About your lists. Yeah, we got a list of your people. We got a list of your code words. Muffin Man and Ratatouille and Pin the Tail on the Donkey and Rumpelstiltskin and Papa John's. We got a list. You know it? Yep. Okay, you're not all there, are you? Nope. You do the same thing every day that gets the same results. So do we. We like our results. We want you in jail. Nobody has as much as we have, do they? Everybody wants you, Charles, in jail. Nobody invited you here. I went to great lengths and moved twice and started my life all over again. And so somebody commented on it that they're sick and tired of you lying. You're full of shit. Ms. Ortiz left Lubbock where she's being harassed by Charles Perry. Left town. Went home to be with her family. So why isn't he doing that? He left his home and his family and goes up where she is and then whines and cries that she's harassing him. And I don't believe him. I think he's full of crap. If he's really being harassed, then he needs to go home to his family just like she did. And quit going to Oklahoma and bothering people. Every day, he bothers every day. He gets told on. And everybody's running around. How does she know? How did she find out? We've told you over and over and over and over and over. You piss my guys off going at me, they're gonna get up your ass and they're gonna find out what you're up to next. Pull her over again. Wait till she gets to Memorial. And how would you know when I get to Memorial? You dumb. I mean, gal, it's so easy, it's not fair. So there's my disclaimer. I assert my right to fucking equal protection. Gender discrimination and misogyny is disgusting. We're quoting you, you're not quoting us. Okay, here's Chief Miller's deal. Governor Stint, did you happen to mention this to Governor DeSantis today? I don't register to vote, and I don't vote because I need to stay as far away from Charles Perry as I can. I've paid $5,000 not to go to work, plus missed lost income. Egads of money. They got a list, Charles, of how many pennies and dollars you owe me. From my having to miss work to avoid you in Oklahoma at my work where you have no legitimate reason to be, and I do. I have a legitimate reason to be work at my job. You have guys go in there like David Robertson and threaten and harass and threaten and harass and threaten and harass until to where I won't go. Or my guys tell me, don't go tonight. He's got this and this and this planned. Stay home. So it's either that I'm at a point where I need a night to decompress, where I don't have to deal with it, or if I'm going to go, they may call me and tell me you can't go tonight. He's going to do this and this and this to you. He's going to try to kill you. So stay home. Sit this one out. They're going to try to have somebody run you off the road, or they're going to have a staged medical emergency, and when you help, they're going to lie to you and tell you the guy's got that you helped as a virus, you need a shot. And the hitman, here, listen to the hitman. And the hitman says, yeah, what do I do if she won't take the shot? And you said, you make sure she takes it. You tell her she'll die if she doesn't. Coax her. You call that Hansel and Gretel. That's your code word. Coax her to this location where we can do some harm to her. Go to Pensacola, Mike. It'll be fun. What did Stint and Governor DeSantis talk about, huh? Not Mike? Not how do we get him home? He's an officer down in need of an assist. You can't kill somebody and have not a mark on you. You can't do it. What does she say right here? The medical examiner said Miller was internally decapitated, which could require the same force one would face in a car crash. And yet, we got a guy, oddly, that just took this report here and apparently was coaxed. I guess I'll finally hear what you have to say. I asked you before, how do you know Mike had to be begged to go? Well, who's the other victims of the senator? Okay, and here's my subpoena. You don't contact people who've been subpoenaed to testify in a court of law and ask them what they're going to say on Facebook. Get some dignity. I was raised in the home of a dignitary. My granddad was the power of the town where I grew up in Roswell. Police chief, county treasurer, city councilor, put Roswell on the map internationally. You don't touch things if it's not yours. Keep your hands to yourself. Dignity. Dignitaries act with dignity and class and grace. And you act like fucking trailer park trash. Sex pervert. I can't control myself, weirdo. Charles Perry has women locked in a basement somewhere. There's no way he doesn't. Okay. So, here he is. Here's his arrest report. Just not a fucking injury in here. Red swollen right hand. Well, he's got an IV in it, dumb fuck. You shouldn't be a cop. You need to quit. Not a mark on him anywhere. He tells the detective, I'm feeling my hands. There's nothing on him. I don't believe you. And the detective does not say, here's the injuries on you that indicate you were in a fight, and a bad one. The other guy died in that fight. Doesn't do that at all. He says it appears Chief Miller was beat to death. Right, and we get that. We get that. Maybe you ought to catch up to us. We're not slowing down for you. When somebody beats somebody so bad it looks like they were in a car crash and their head came off their body, they're not going to look like that. You shouldn't be a cop. We said it in March 2020. He was drugged. He didn't do it. You guys got the wrong guy. Which is DeSantis. No, he wants to run for president. This might come out right at the wrong time for that. I promise you. You don't need to be president if you're going to let cops sit in jail wrongfully convicted in your state. Okay? I'm not even registered to vote. I've been a Republican all my life. But I'll tell you what. I don't care who you are. This is as corrupt as it gets. Okay. Sure as shit, we were right. I said it in March in an email to the Florida State's Attorney. You got the wrong fucking guy. He didn't do it. 6 days before, he took my vandalism report. I think the guy that did the car vandalism did this. By the way, he's like Epstein, only worse. And they were talking about Epstein like an hour or two before the murder. What are the chances? And I was right. In the depositions of May, first responders are then deposed and they say, we found him unconscious, in respiratory distress, not a bump on his head anywhere. What are the chances? He's in a deadly brawl, not a bump on his head anywhere, but yet he's knocked out. What could cause that? Well, the symptoms we saw were opioid overdose, so we gave him Narcan, and he came to, by the way. He got better. He had a positive response to the treatment we gave him as a diagnosis of the opioid. We got it right. He's not going to come to if they give him Benadryl or Nexium. He's only going to come to if they give him the right shit. And he did. Okay? So, Mr. Perry, who is it you fucking think you're fooling? Cop killer. See, you're messing with me. Life as you knew it ended when you started messing with me. I'm Chief Hall's granddaughter. You are caught every day. You don't have a love life. You're all by yourself. You sit there, little old shriveled up princess with his doll, watching TV pretending, pathetic as it gets. And you never shut up. He types in my phone today, I'm going to get you. I'm going to take. I'm going to get you. I'm going to kidnap you. Uh-huh. Every day, you're going to kidnap me. Which means you know I don't like you. You don't have to kidnap somebody that likes you. And what else? Oh, I'm depressed. Nobody cares. Were you asked? No. Everybody asked you to go the fuck away. Fuck off. Call your mommy. Okay? No one else wants to hear it. Go home to your family. Where's Jacqueline, Jordan, and Matthew? Where's your family? You don't go to a place where you're being harassed and then scream and cry and whine and complain, I'm being harassed. You avoid it as much as you can, especially if it's a place where you have no legitimate reason to be. When I go to work, I have a legitimate reason to be at work. You don't have a legitimate reason to be there. In a state where you don't live and you weren't invited and nobody wants you there, that's why we can get information and you can't, dum-dum. We can get it the snap of a finger, and nobody will help you. We can get the information about what you're trying to do next at the snap of a finger. 98% of the time. We did not get this or about the brick. But those two things happened about the same time. The brick you had thrown at me on the freeway, murder attempt number 2, that didn't hit me in the head, thank God. Wasn't my day. It hit the asphalt, bounced up under my car, and split the engine in two. Because you're going at my car, still. Please take our car away. Please take our car away. Then she'll call me. Nope. No, sir. Delusional. You prove your disease out every day. You prove it out. See? So we document. Here's what they were talking about. And somebody said, you need to put some pressure on her. Tell her you don't believe her. And see if she'll back off of this deal where she says it's cops helping her. Do it. Come on. I dare you. Come put pressure on me and tell me you don't believe me. Okay? Let's just see how that turns out for you. Go ahead and do it. Have my family do an intervention. And give me another I told you so. Have somebody put pressure on me and see if I'll come off this thing that it's cops helping me. And then I'll have another I did say. I did tell you. How many I told you so's do I already have? How many times are you going to prove out my recordings? Huh? Before we even get to your trial. Do it, I dare you. You like doing stupid things. Here's your shovel, dig away. And boy, how do you do? And now you're so deep in, everybody's going, I don't know how to get him out of this. I really don't. Dum-dum can't just shut up and leave everybody alone. And then he, here we go. She caught him again. Here we go. She caught him again. I mean, you can't miss your mental illness. You can't miss it. You reek of it. Okay, let's do this one more time. Because I have I don't know, a whole album here on Mr. Perry's calls to Oklahoma police wanting me pulled over. Look at that. A whole fucking album. All by itself. Just that. That's only one injury out of bazillions of them you guys put. There's the kidnapping. There's starve her until she lies. There's, it's called grand larceny with intent to coerce. Interference with commerce with intent to coerce, Lucius. Interference with contracts with intent to coerce, Calvin. Calvin, who's bald and fat. Never met these people in my life that I know of. But, when you hear people, who are in a lot of trouble, the police have an order in a wiretap or somebody, and you hear them talking, and the cop, here, listen to this one, here, listen to this one. Then you start to get to hear their names and shit. You know how I know Calvin is bald and fat? Because there was about 3 or 4 of them talking about how can we get her off of Fabian. We need me, she doesn't like Charles. Do you think she would like Calvin? And the guy goes, he's bald and fat. No. And he's mean. No. There's no chance of that. There's absolutely no chance of that. Oh, I thought maybe we could set her up with Calvin. No, we can't set her up with Calvin. He's not her type. He's not even close. All right, so, look at all this. Pull her over. Mays County, Rogers County also were asked to pull me over. You know how I know? Because y'all were recorded talking about it. Okay, you forget who it is you're talking to and who you're dealing with. I'm going to take her car away. It's not legit, but I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures that out. And you've been trying ever since, every day. Please take her car away. Please take her car away. Please. Constantly. He's recording. Weirdo. Charles the weirdo. Please take her car away. Did you want me? Yeah, I don't date men unless they make sure I don't miss a meal. And I don't date peeping toms for sure. Chief Miller, we got tired of being asked to pull her over and get her license, her car information to give it to him. Okay? That's what he said. He said he's being harassed. Bullshit. She never bothers anybody. Those guys will not stop calling my office wanting her pulled over. I have real crime to solve. Is that why you killed him? We all know Mike didn't do it. There's no evidence on Mike. None. So did DeSantis and Stint sit down while he was up here and figure out a way to get Mike out of jail? Since he was wrongfully convicted, we got an officer down in need of an assist. I'm assisting him. Where's everybody else? Huh? We're doing it. We found out he was drugged before anybody else said it. Wasn't on the docket yet. Wasn't even taken in depositions yet. Okay, so why is he still there? Why is he still there? Yep, that's a problem. A very, very, very humongous, tremendously big, massive ass problem for everybody involved. For everybody involved. You don't hurt a cop, and you don't leave one behind. We, cop family, doesn't leave cop family behind. We don't do it. If you went into a building with your partner, and there's an active shooter, and your partner got shot, you don't run out and leave him behind, do you? No. You get him and you pull him out. You get him to some help. And you get him home to his family. What do you want somebody to treat you? You treat other people like you want to be treated, because guess what? God isn't mocked. We all reap what we sow. What goes around comes around. Karma is in all religions. All religions, Lucius. Which one of you guys is the head witch? I want to meet you. I want to meet you. Face to face. You don't know what you're dealing with. Look at this. This was a wise thing to say here. This was John F. Kennedy. I'm sorry, Robert Kennedy. Every society gets the kind of criminal it deserves, TPD. What is equally true is that every community gets the kind of law enforcement it insists on. We have demanded and demanded and demanded. Michael Nealey goes home. You better not make us do it. If you make us do it, I promise you, you're going to wish you weren't born. When we quote you, do you like that? When we find out what you just said, do you enjoy that? It seems like you do because you keep doing the same thing every day that gets you that result. Exactly. Now, here's what my grandma said. Law enforcement is called. It's a calling by God and by God. Whether you believe in God or not doesn't matter. Do you believe in the wind? Do you? What do you think holds the stars up? What do you think holds the sea back? What do you think does all that? Okay. I mean, you believe what you believe. But why are you a cop? If you're a policeman, why are you a cop? You like the adrenaline rush? Who does that serve? Power is in service to others. Oprah Winfrey says it. Anybody who's achieved any success at all in life believes that power is in serving other people. Service to other people. Once you start running around on a high horse, it won't be too long. Somebody will jerk you right off of it. We all put our pants on one leg at a time. We all put our pants on the same way, one leg at a time. Nobody's above another. Just like that. That's all there is to it. An adrenaline rush is not the right reason to be a police officer. Protect and serve. Read the police officer's rule of ethics. There's rules, there's morals, there's laws. There's certain conduct that is deviant and offends everybody. It's grossing everybody out. It's making everybody very upset and angry and resentful. A lot of animosity. When you cause loss to somebody, cause suffering, that tends to happen. People will not like you and they will not help you. You know who they're going to help? Somebody who's going to make that stop. Just like that. I don't know how many different ways I can say the same fucking thing. We say it, then we show you. Pull her over, but wait till she gets a memorial. I heard you. Put some pressure on her. Get her family to put some pressure on her. Maybe she'll come off this thing where it's cops. Do it, please. I could use another I told you so. As many I told you so, where we can go back into court and say they did exactly what we said. They did exactly what we said. We don't get information that's vague. It's very specific. It's very detailed. Mr. Perry, you're not all there, are you? I mean, you got to diagnose mental illness. Diagnose mental illness. We found that out because when you contact me and you invade my privacy and you take from me, you piss off people with a hell of a lot of power. Hell of a lot of power. So anybody out there that, I mean, I'm not registered to vote, and I'm not going to vote, and I'm not going to campaign or anything, but just on its face, I'm not going to vote for somebody who allows a cop. I mean, I'm not going to vote, but I wouldn't tell anyone, vote for the guy who lets a cop get wrongfully convicted in his state and then just sit there and rot. Doesn't back the blue. Mike Pence is also running. Maybe consider that as another option. You know, the one that stood up to people who were fucking, you know, Trump seemed like an okay guy until I heard him in a recording talking to, it's amazing what recording someone can do. Then there's no he said, she said, there is there. So Trump is recorded telling the guy from Georgia, I need you to lie and find me some votes. Just find something. I'm like, oh my God. Wow. That's not really morally or ethically someone that I would want running the country, whether you're Republican or not. And so to have afterwards people behave the way they did on January 6th and just this fucking animal kingdom happened. I don't even have words for that, but it certainly was embarrassing to me. Dignity, class. Heard of it? Have you heard of dignity and class? You know, maybe some lawyer somewhere could find on the rule of law it's okay what they did. Revolutionary War, forefathers, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of what they did. Tea Party and the Boston Tea Party and shit. Okay, but times have changed. Society's evolved. And just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it. Storming the White House and hurting people didn't get anything accomplished there, did it? Now we got a lot of it's violence. I mean, this is just it's insanity that someone would promote violence like that. We have a system in place to where people can choose who they want to be president. Mr. Trump, it was not you. At some point we have to act our age and grow up and be mature and move on. And we don't just trample all over the law and hurt people and go, well, everybody's supposed to be okay with it. We're not okay with it. See? We're not. We're fucking not okay with it. So at that point, whatever doubts I had about Mr. Trump, I'm done. I'm done with you, dude. I just heard what you just said. You just asked somebody to lie so that you could win an election. And that is not okay. It's not fucking okay. So I don't vote because I have to distance myself from another cuckoo bird, but who likes abusing women and think that's funny. To feel tough, he's got to abuse women. He's that weak and pathetic. And so Pence stood up to him and said, I'm not going to behave like that. I have some class and I have some dignity. So if I were voting at this point, that's the individual that I would trust. That's the individual that I would trust. And this DeSantis guy who has allowed a police officer to be murdered in his jurisdiction, and then another one almost murdered and wrongfully convicted, and he's just sitting there, to have the nerve to come to Oklahoma and ask for us to vote for him, I don't even know what to say to that. I really don't. There's somebody giving me information as to what you guys just said in your meeting. What's going to happen? What are they going to do, and when are they going to do it? And how bad is it going to be for you? Or Ron DeSantis, because he let that go on. Or Governor Stint, because he let that go on. Did they talk about it? Does Mike matter? He matters to us. We spend a hell of a lot of time and money and energy fighting for Mike Nealey. Where's everybody else? You can't even find out who's helping me. You don't even know. You're wanting to put pressure on me to say we don't believe her and then see if she'll come off of that. It's cops thing. Do it. Whatever you planned over the weekend, I dare you to do it. Come to my face, you pathetic little bitch. And you say what you need to say. And don't squeal to your mommy when I beat the living fuck out of you. Don't do it, because I will hit you. If you get anywhere near me, I'll beat the hell out of you. You better yell it across the parking lot. TPD doesn't want to get that call, do they? They know. Charles Perry gets anywhere near Cindy, his balls are in his brain faster than he'll know what to do. He's very mentally slow. So my granddad says law enforcement is called to relieve suffering caused by crime. That's their calling. That's their job. That's the one thing they got to do every day. That's it. Nothing else. Relieve suffering caused by crime. You catch a bad guy, you put him in jail so he can't cause suffering anymore. Just like that. That's what you do. And at the end of the day, guess what makes heroes? Adversity. Without punks like you causing adversity, we wouldn't be heroes, would we? Because I promise you, at the end of the day, we'll go down as the heroes. And you'll be pathetic nobodies. Just failures. Just like all the rest of you criminals. Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein. Right? Just end up BTK, Jeffrey Dahmer, the Unabomber. Yeah, he finally had enough of it, huh? Couldn't take. Oh, were you suffering? Oh my gosh. Well, what about the families you hurt? What about the families you hurt? These are dignitaries right here. Dignitary. Put Roswell on the map internationally. That's my granddad. We were called to relieve suffering caused by crime. That's our job, and that's the only thing we got to do all day long. That's it. That's all we do is relieve suffering caused by little punks like Charles Perry. No impulse control and a very low IQ. Everybody fucking hates your guts. Fucking hates you, Charles. That's why we can get information at the snap of a finger and nobody will help you. Come ask me to my face. Whatever it is you want to ask me that makes you think I might back off on that these guys are cops helping me. Do it. Do it. Do a family intervention. Do it. I dare you. Give me another I told you so. Yep. And your kidnapping plan, duly noted for the record too, by the way. So, this is my great-granddad. He was a good man. Also a detective. Who do you think taught my granddad how to be a cop and how to do it the right way? He did. He taught the whole family how to be a cop and how to powers in service. Right? The thing is if I got a little braggy about who my granddad was, his response was always the same. Power is in service, and we all put our pants on one leg at a time. And my grandmother, if it isn't yours, don't touch it. Keep your hands to yourself. Have some manners. Don't embarrass granddad. Yeah. Okay. Charles was raised by wolves, I guess. Alright, and here's Pinto. It's a recording. It's amazing what you can do with a recording if somebody can't. He came to my work where I am. He didn't have a legitimate reason to be there. I did. Now you listen, and he'll pay you $5,000 to sleep with him. And I'm like, ew. No. There's not enough money in the world to pay me for that. He creeps me the hell out. Yeah, we'll just be creeped out by him for a couple hours, and you'll be $5,000 richer. See? Just sleep with him. Ew. Ugh. Gives everybody the heebie-jeebies and embarrasses the hell out of me. I wouldn't walk in a room for millions with that bitch. Alright, so we hear about the pullover. And we hear about see if we can't get her to back off of who these guys are cops. Okay. So I do get pulled over on January 3rd. And I asked for some discovery. Okay. Body cam, dash cam. List of times I was pulled over because it was a lot. And duty to intervene, and what's your policy on taking domestic violence reports. And there's a reason I asked for that. It's part of what's on the body cam and the dash cam. The judge, let's see. I file a motion to dismiss. Here it is. I filed the motion to dismiss, in which I'm saying, I asked for this. It's a Brady violation because I didn't get it. They're concealing the list and the policy, which any citizen should be able to get policy. A lot of police departments now have their policy and procedures posted online. What's your duty to intervene? Actually, it's state law, duty to intervene. I studied it. There's actually state law and duty to intervene. It's not an option. You got to do it. So I'm not going to get into that right now. But here, and it's also concealment of material fact. So we got a Brady violation. This information is exculpatory. I'm prejudiced without it. And it's a Brady violation, and I want this dismissed. The whole thing. Should have never been a pullover to begin with. And it's concealment of a material fact. And so city prosecutor Gabriel Dunbar is asked, what's the reason you're not giving this to her? Is it an oversight? Well, I don't think it's relevant. So he's not denying there is a list and policy and all that stuff that I asked for. He's not denying there's a list. There's a list. He's admitting, okay, there's a list. Okay, but he says it's not relevant. And the judge says, fine. Then you need to give me a brief explaining why it's not relevant. He doesn't do that. He doesn't even get close. There's no argument as to why he thinks it's not he can argue it's not. We don't think it's exculpatory and it's not relevant, and he doesn't do that. What he says is there's no reason. She can't have a hearing. The Supreme Court ruled in a misdemeanor case you can't have a hearing on insufficient evidence. Okay, but that's not what I asserted. I didn't assert insufficient evidence. I asserted Brady. Two different grounds. Completely different grounds. Apples and oranges. So I again file another motion to dismiss. Okay, well, Judge, he didn't, he argued somebody else's case. It's not my case. There's where it was filed. It's not my case he argued, Your Honor. So, again, I'm asking you to dismiss. All of it's right here. Anybody can see it. And you want me pulled over again after all this? Really? You're not all there, are you? Nope. Huntington's disease. So, that was done Friday. Oddly, all the threats to my car was weird. It wouldn't start. I used it in the morning, came back home, did a few things, changed clothes, got ready to go to courthouse, and my car won't start. So I get a ride. I come back, and it starts right up. Wow, that's not fishy. That's not fishy at all. Are you trying to impede court process, Mr. Perry, again? Okay, so here's my second motion to dismiss, which was filed Friday. So I took a picture of the filed version and began to put it in my Dropbox, and everyone had a nervous breakdown. But see, this was in the last podcast, dumb fucks. I mean, what do you guys act like if we, you act like if we say it and then you have a conversation where you pretend it didn't exist, then everyone else thinks it doesn't exist. No, you're the only ones that believe your own lies. Everyone else is already going, she did already say that. Has she not already? Why is she repeating herself? I'm repeating myself because there's a lot of little old farts from Texas who have Alzheimer's. And they wake up in a new world every 5 minutes. And we're always going, well, but we already said that. We said it a lot. We didn't just say it once. We said it about 100 times. So we all remember. Everyone else remembers. Why don't you? You need to keep up. And you can't. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we get more. Mr. Perry, when I'm able to find out beforehand what you're going to do to me, it's because you're contacting me. You're invading my privacy, and you're making me broke. You're taking my money. And everybody's sick of it. Everybody's sick of you. You're a very hated man. You're a very hated group of men. We can get information at the snap of a finger. You can't. Look at your results. Look at ours. You always have to look at results. You have to. But if you're delusional, your accuracy is going to be way the hell off, isn't it? You got to pretend love life. It's only real to you. It does not exist to me at all. You disgust me. I don't feel anything for you, but deep, deep disgust. Everybody does. We can get information. No one gives a fuck what you think. You don't matter. The victims do. Everybody's tired of you making everybody else suffer. And creeping everybody out in a state where you don't live and nobody invited you to come. Go home to your family, please. And leave everybody else the fuck alone. We can be all having a perfectly fine, wonderful, great day. And here comes Perry and he'll ruin it. Just like that. And everybody gets all pissed off. And very motivated to put him in jail. Get everything you can get so that you can get a conviction and he never gets out. We never have to mess with this bitch again. And we get it in a heartbeat. Everything that's corrupt. I found out about the forgery. I found out you trafficked me and who, too. I have your code words. You know why? Everybody's highly motivated to put you in jail so you can't cause suffering anymore, dumb fuck. Nobody likes suffering. Why do you? All of this stuff at your age, you should know. Most people know. They don't have to be told even one time. You've been told over and over and over and over and over and over and over. If it is something that is deviant and illegal, that means people do not like that. So stop doing it. If you do it anyway and you get told on, that's your fault, dum-dum. Leave everybody and everything alone. Stop bothering. Stop threatening. Stop causing stress. Stop causing loss. Stop causing anxiety. And when you do it anyway, don't be shocked and dismayed when you get told on. It's been that way for 10 years, dumbass. You're just not all there. I fucking hate having to deal with somebody that's not all there. I can't stand it. I'm very smart. I'm used to working with people who are extremely smart. You say it once. If you have to say it at all. If you have to say it at all. I'm used to people with dignity and class. I'm not used to a bunch of trailer park bitches. Everybody owes me something. My mommy humiliated me, so now everybody owes me something. No, grow up and act your age. If you need a teacher, a special education teacher, get one. But stop bothering us. Look at this. When you contact me, when you take my money, when you take my privacy, when you cause a problem, we get more. Cause and effect. It's different than your other victims, but it's always the same. We get more. And yet you keep doing it. You're never going to get a date with me. I would never go out with a guy just who peeps. That alone is a fat turnoff for women. Women think that is the nastiest, most vulgar, gross, yuck thing on the planet. A little pathetic peeping Tom pervert. You're a pervert. Get off your ass and go work. Go be with your family. Go home to your family. And or don't complain when you get told on. Our shrink says he's not going to pass the cognitive reasoning of my first grade patients. Look, she said it in 2021. That's before we knew you had Huntington's disease. You know how we found out you have Huntington's disease? When you contact me, when you peep on me, when you invade my privacy, when you take my money, we get stuff like that. Snap of a finger. Nobody help you. Nobody wants to help you. Everybody just wants you to fucking go away. You're a deviant. You're cruel. You're creepy. You've given us the heebie-jeebies long enough. So, she got it right, didn't she? Look at this. This was in 2021. I thought she was going to change her mind, but it doesn't look like she's going to change her mind to go ahead and be trafficked. So let's do a carjacking. That's in 2021. They've been trying to do it again ever since. They think everybody forgot that there was a threat to my car. Nobody forgot but you, Alzheimer's. Nobody forgot but you, Alzheimer's. Everybody else remembered the first time I said it. The need to repeat is like grinding nails on a chalkboard for everybody else, normal people. You're not normal. You're very weirdo. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. Nobody, you're never going to get a date with somebody like me. You're off your nut. If you think you could get a date with somebody like me. I don't date peeping toms. If there were nothing else, there's that, but there's actually a whole lot more than that. So, I mean, I've come on pretty strong here, but again, remember, we're quoting you, you're not quoting us. We're naming people that work on your team, Team Weirdo. You're not naming our people. So I think I can. I think I can be kind of tough. So if DeSantis and Stint didn't get to the bottom of how can we get Mike Nealey out of jail, he's an officer down in need of an assist, Ron. Let's just see. Look at that. Oh my God, look at that. All of those are subject lines to emails I typed up that go with the police recording. Oh my God, look at that. Oh shit, look at that. You're stepping on some power toes. Oh shit, look at that. Oh my God, look at that. We got it before, not after. It's all about coercion. By false arrest, kidnapping. Take her car away. I just want him to leave me the fuck alone. That's all he has to do is leave me the fuck alone. It doesn't cost any amount of time. It doesn't cost any money to leave people alone. I can leave people alone. Why can't he? All he does is bother everybody all day. That's all Charles Perry does is bother people. Then he runs around, why don't you like me? I'm going to ruin your life. I'm going to kidnap you. I'm going to rape you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to false arrest you. Why doesn't she like me? I'm going to get you. I'm going to take. Why don't you like me? Oh my God. It's like living in an insane asylum. Literally. Talk about cuckoo bird. We care about your victims, not you. Who's Oscar? Why was he mad? Huh? Why was Oscar mad? You know how we found out about that? When Charles contacts me, we get more. And then he acts like what does that mean? What does that mean? When I contact her, we get more. What does that mean? Just not all there. We just talked about it in the last podcast. I'm just really repeating myself from the last one. Aren't I? Aren't I? Yeah. There, see? We just talked about that. We're repeating ourselves for you, Mr. Perry. You're wasting people's time with that. Look at that. The longer he drags us out, the more we get. The more we get, the easier it will be to get a conviction, don't you think? I don't know. Ask Oscar or Betancourt. Who's Betancourt, huh? Or Sonjay? I mean, who has it? Who has it? Just over and over, we got to say the same thing for you. Trying to sell my car out from under me. They called Carvana. Yeah, see, when you contact me, we find out more. Because you're pissing everybody off. You're pissing off people with more power in their pinky toe than you will ever have. All of you put together. So, somebody needs to have a conversation with Governor Stint and Governor DeSantis. Because he wants to run for president, and he's got a police officer down in need of an assist from Oklahoma who is trying to help an Oklahoma citizen by relieving suffering caused by crime. He was doing his job. And if they didn't have a talk about that, how to get him home, that's a problem, and a big one. We can't do that. That's not how we treat people in a civilized society, don't you think? We have the criminals we deserve, and we get the law enforcement we insist on. And I insist on better than what I'm seeing. Take the fucking evidence and look at it. That's what your job is. Relieve the suffering caused by crime. That's your job. It's the only job you have. And if that's too much for you to handle and you can't deal with that, there's a lot of other jobs. We're putting a roof over your head and food on your table and clothes on your kids' backs and your back so that you'll do that right there. You don't cause it. You don't pull me over. I don't have a reason to be pulled over at this point. Car's registered. Everything's fine. Unless I'm speeding or unless I, do something, there's no reason to pull me over at Memorial. Okay? So, you're caught again. When Charles invades my privacy and rapes me. He doesn't have my consent. It is rape, and it's vulgar. And it's offensive to all normal people. You're not to contact me or my family. Bitch. And you don't take my money. If it isn't yours, keep your hands to yourself. You need to get off your ass and go work. And go be with your family, Jacqueline, Jordan, and Matthew. And get the fuck off me and mine, rapist. Get off of me and mine. Get the hell out of my life. Stay the fuck away from me. Leave me alone. Leave everybody and everything the fuck alone. Get off your lazy fat ass and go work. You're not gonna get a date with me. You're not good enough. I don't go out with lazy bitches who play with dolls all day long. I date men, and only men, real men, who are chivalrous and can't imagine acting like you. You're not good enough. You've been rejected for a decade. I moved twice to get away from you and have nothing else to do with you. And not a conflict, and no strife, and no drama. Okay? You've blown my life up, and you will never be forgiven for that. Ever. You get anywhere near me, your balls are in your brain. Like that. As fast as we can quote you, your balls will be in your brain. Okay? I don't know how many different ways I can say the same thing for a fucktard like you to understand me. You need to get a nurse or something, because this is irritating the fuck out of everybody. That everything has to be said for you over and over and over, and most people just know. Most people just know. When you do things that are ugly and nasty and vulgar and harmful People are not going to like you, and they will not help you. They will not help you. Leave everybody and everything the fuck alone. Control yourself. Act like a man your age. Go home to your family. Nobody invited you here, and nobody gives a fuck what you think. You are not asked. If you like acting like that, then go out with Connie Curry. Okay? Nosy body. Nobody cares what you think. Get out of my life. Reject. Get off me, rapist. Get off me, rapist. Get the fuck off me, you rapist. Get off me. Get out of my life. Do not contact me or my family again. Get out of my life. Nobody's gonna help you. In 10 years, nobody has, nobody will. Everybody hates your guts. Everybody's sick of you. Everybody's sick of you. Everybody's sick and tired of you. Why can you not understand? Everybody's sick and tired of you. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. Go home to your family. Fuck off.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes. First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time.
You're raping me. You're rejected. You're by yourself. You're old. You are pathetic. You're shriveled up. Sitting there with a doll. Watching TV. Banging around. Pretending. And everybody's sick and tired of you. So we're quoting you. You're not quoting us. We're naming your people. You're not naming ours. Nobody will help you. Nobody wants to help you. Everybody wants to help us. So we can get the information at the snap of a finger before you do it, not after. We knew Mike was drugged before anybody said it, not after. Get a special ed teacher, because I'm sick and tired of saying the same thing for you over and over and over and over and over. We say it, then we show you. You're rejected, and you're told on, and told on, and told on, and everybody hates your guts. Everybody's sick of you. And glad I'm okay. Now fuck the hell off. Go home to your family. Leave me the fuck alone. Reject. I don't like you. No one likes you. We can get information at the snap of a finger. You can't.
Because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting.
Charles, nobody loves you. You're alone. You're rejected, and you're told on. Look at your results, look at ours. Nobody will help you. You're rejected, you're alone, and you're told on, and you're hated. Everybody hates your guts. No one invited you to Oklahoma. Nobody cares what you think. You were not asked, were you? Everybody hates your guts. Nobody will help you. You're alone, rejected, and told on. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. You have leaks. We do not. People like us. They do not like you. You make everybody feel raped. You're forcing yourself on everybody. And we're all tired of it. We're all sick of it. Get away from me. Leave me alone. Act like a grown man. Act your age. Act your age. Get some dignity already. Go home to your family. Leave me and mine alone. You don't have a choice. As much as we quote you, why the fuck do you think you have a choice? Huh? We said Mike was drugged before anybody else said it, dum-dum. You need to remember who it is you're talking to. And don't threaten me again. Everybody threatened to kidnap me and pull me over. After all this whole traffic bullshit, he actually sat down and they thought they planned another pullover. But when she gets to Memorial, and how you gonna know when I get to Memorial? Huh? Let me tell you something. I can ditch a tail like that. You've made me have to learn how to do that too. So, you want to have me followed? Be my guest. Let's see how that turns out, huh? How's everything else turned out? Do you have a real love life? Is a woman holding your hand right now? Oh, fuck no. That'll never happen. You repulse women. You're addicted to being creepy. For you, the creepier the better. Everybody thinks you've got women locked in a basement somewhere. You give everybody the heebie-jeebies that badly. And you don't care. You're not one bit embarrassed. And everybody's like, why isn't he embarrassed? Well, he's got Huntington's disease. He doesn't know he should be. He can't do cause and effect. Same and different before and after. Can't do it. He's got a mental illness and a mental, slow problem. Huntington's disease. He's just not there. I'm not all there. Elevator's not going to the top. Lights are on. Nobody's home. Nobody. So, why isn't he in a home? A special facility? We don't know. Irresponsible of his attorney, don't you think? So, our guys are like, yep, there's some criminal charges racking up for him, too. It's our pleasure to do it. It's our pleasure.
That's okay. I don't care. Leave me alone. You want. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Leave me alone. He just typed in my phone again. I'm going to have you kidnapped. I said leave me alone. You're caught. You're told on. We're naming your people. You're not naming ours. We're coding you. Don't forget that. Somebody's going to have to remind him I swear to God, wakes up in a new world every 5 minutes.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's...
So, how many phone calls have you made when somebody gave you information as to who's helping me? Oh, none. Why might that be? How many times have you gotten a date with me? Oh, never. Why might that be? Yeah, but we're quoting you every day, and we can name all your people. We got all your code words. Yeah. Okay, results are all that matter. We're producing results, you're not. You're rejected, you're by yourself with a doll. Rocking back and forth in your little, Alzheimer chair.
In public, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
And everybody hates your guts.